Hi everyone, my name's Jennifer Cross and I am here for a feminine moment with Miss Dixie Andelin Forsyth, and we're going to continue our discussion about understanding men and take a wonderfully thought out question from our closed Facebook group. So Dixie, I'm going to read part of the question. There are probably many videos, but we'll start off with part of it and go from there.
Okay.
So, she asks, or actually comments that in the FW book, there's the mention of, Mumtaz. Is it
Mumtaz.
From,
Probably say Mumtaz, but I don't really know for sure.
Yeah, well, we'll have to Google it. But you know how her husband was the king.
Shah Jahan.
To create the Taj Mahal in her honor. And so here's the question. I just wonder, what exactly did his wife do in their marriage to have it like that? They also had many children together and a passionate love affair. I want to go a little bit up because she makes a great comment about femininity. She wonders if there can be examples on the kind of femininity that would inspire this man to create the Taj Mahal. That's the first part of the question. What does that look like? What did she do?
Is that the entire question?
That's just the first one. Like, I think we ought to just do it in chunks.
First of all, they lived in the 1400s, I think. This was a long time ago, maybe 1500, somewhere in there. I'm sorry, I don't remember my exact dates.
I'll find out.
Of when they lived. This was quite a while ago. And I've studied a little bit about it. So everything that I can say is based on documentaries and things I've read about them. But I saw a documentary a year or two ago that told, I thought, oh, I wish my mother was still alive. She would love this. It told a little bit more about their relationship.
Oh.
And it's interesting that in a time where, she was one of many wives. She was the wife of his heart. He was expected to marry a number of women so that he could ensure that he would have, heirs. And so she's the only one that, they were in love since they were children. Even though they were promised to each other, it was an arrangement, they were actually in love. And he had to marry these other women for political reasons. But once they'd had a child, he didn't really have that relationship with them. But the thing about her that was unique is that they were really close. They were good friends. They weren't just, they did have a passionate love affair. Mm-hmm. And this documentary said that he took her with him on all of his campaigns. India is a huge country, and there's all these different provinces. And he would, they didn't have cars or anything. It showed them on the documentary traveling by elephant. It would be very slow.
Wow.
And he took her with him when he had to go visit all these provinces to manage this kingdom. And he would take her with him, and he would even ask for her advice. Now, I don't think that she was particularly studied politics or anything like that, but she was insightful, and he asked for her advice because she was wise.
That's the second.
So wise is a little different than smart. I'm sure she was smart too, but she was also wise. And he loved her being near him. In fact, when she died, it devastated him. Mm-hmm. And he poured so much money into the Taj Mahal, it kind of almost bankrupted the country. So even though he had a successful reign up until when she died, afterwards, seems like he lost his motivation. And that's all he could think about. I don't remember how much.
Do you remember where you watched that documentary, or no?
It might be on YouTube. It wasn't on Netflix when I watched it. It was on one of those channels like PBS or something. And it was so good. I wish that one time I had it recorded until, of course, I got new equipment and erased it all. But but it was very inspiring that her relationship with him was not as somebody. She wasn't somebody who wanted to advise her husband, so studied up on everything.
Well, thank you for answering. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, she was sound like a perfect companion. They shared a really passionate love affair, but she was also his closest friend and even advised him on state matters because he trusted her.
And along that line, the next question really alludes to the importance of the feminine influence and how to give the feminine advice. So can you talk to about that? Because that's what you're talking about, is her feminine.
Men don't want advice like you're being told what to do. It's like, have you ever seen the movie The King and I with
Yes, of course.
Brenner? Yeah,
Yes,
that one.
it's
There's
a good one.
there's a scene in there where the first wife says to Anna Leon Owens, who said, "King cannot take advice." So she had to figure out a way to he really wanted her to advise him, but she had to do it in a way that didn't kind of hurt his pride.
Yeah.
So he says, "Guess how I will do it." So he was more extreme. He was more extreme than most men today. But she had to be wise to see what he was struggling with and suggest things. I was thinking that maybe I wonder if this would be good. And she had to almost make it seem like it was his idea because his pride was so sensitive. All men's prides are not that sensitive. But when you give advice, it's because you see that he's struggling with something, not because you see he's doing something wrong, but he's really concerned about it. Because remember, your first priority is to believe in him and to see what a great guy is. And if you see he's struggling, wanting to know something and hasn't asked your advice, you've got to be wise about how you go about it. So he doesn't perceive that you're just
What are some
telling him what to do.
What are some things that a woman would say, or ways to go about doing that? Because that's hard.
As you're close to him, and you can say, "You seem, are you all right? You seem to have something on your mind."
Okay.
And if he doesn't want to talk, let it go. But as he trusts you more and more, he will want to tell you what his struggles are. And rather than say, "Well, I think you should do this," you might say something like, "What do you think about the idea of this? Is that good?"
Mm-hmm.
And so that he is the ultimate one who accepts it or doesn't. Or you might say something that makes him think of it later, and he'll kind of stew on it and think, I think this is true, but because he knows his own business better than you do, I think I'll apply it in this way. And all the while you're listening to him, you're believing in him and trusting him.
Mm-hmm.
And saying, like, how did that make you feel? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? Would this be a good idea? That way you're not, the more aggressive approach would be, I think you should do this.
Mm-hmm.
Then you push for your way of doing things. You're kind of selling it. That is not good advice. A king cannot take advice in that approach. And even though these men aren't like the king of Siam,
No.
It's an exaggeration of masculine pride, and it's perfectly good and normal, and we can be wise, which is what they need us to be.
Wise, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that does answer a few of her questions. Why don't we go ahead and wrap up this segment? We'll come back and we'll answer the rest. So
see if we can find that documentary on the Taj Mahal, because It's really interesting. You
know what I do? If I'll find it, I'll post it in the comments below so everybody has a link to it.
That's great.
Okay. So thank you for watching, everyone.
It's around an hour long, so look for something that's about an hour. So.
Okay. All right. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much, Dixie, and everybody watching. Please like, comment, and share, as well as visit our website. Bye-bye. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.